Hey there YouTube, I have a few moments today before I go out and get something to eat for dinner. I thought I'd show you a pretty neat program I have. Now in my first video in my vlog I told you that I study military science and the combative arts. And so military simulators have interested me quite a bit because out here at Christendom I tend to be an anomaly. There isn't anyone really to share my interests. So I do much of my studying on my own. So a few months ago, several months ago actually, I came across this wonderful freeware program called Armored Brigade, which is made by a group of dedicated programmers who want to simulate on the computer armored combat in the late Cold War. So this is probably the best program out there you can get for free, although I should note that they're discussing making a commercial version, which I applaud them for because, as you'll see, this is a very excellent program. So let's jump right into it. By the way, this is Armored Brigade 0.805. It's not the most recent version. So right now pretty much you can just generate a random scenario. In this version we have 5 countries, but I believe 4 or 5 more have been added since this edition. So we'll have the United States and we'll put them against Finland because for this program, or this video, I don't want to have a pretty difficult fight. Now the missions, there's 3 types. Let's have a medium one because that's the most simple. But what makes this program, well, one of the things that makes this program so excellent is just the sheer amount of terrain you can place your units on. And so as you see, the largest map we can set up is over 15 kilometers long and wide. Now in this version there's 3 maps. These are different areas which would have been hotspots in the Cold War, except this one I'm not exactly sure where it's at. But as you can see, this square is 15 kilometers. It's a lot of terrain we can go over. But for this scenario, let's just keep it down to a nice 3 clicks. Just random area. And so you can have the computer set up your forces, or you can do it yourself. I'll go with M1A1 tank platoon, have an HQ, 2 mechanized infantry platoons. That looks pretty nice. A point count. Alright, so for those out there who like graphics, this isn't your type of game. But as I said, I'm looking for realism, a simulator that I can use to study combat with. If it looks nice, that's a bonus, but it's not something I really need. So you can see, we can check the height. These are objectives you can take, although typically I usually just go to obliterate the enemy. This is a recent addition. You can now look at the terrain in 3D. We can click on a unit, see its specs. And by the way, if we zoom in, the sprites are pretty detailed. This here is one of our M113s. And we'll look at one of the Abrams as well. Nice vehicle, I must say. So since I'm not really interested in doing anything much today, I'm just going to set them up. You see, what you do is you command waypoints, and the time period between when you set the waypoint and your unit receives the orders and carries them out depends on the distance between an HQ unit. In the beginning I don't have to worry about that at all. There's no time limit to set up or to issue orders. But once the battle starts, yellow are unidentified vehicles. This program uses typical NATO symbology. For example, we'll have these guys advance, It takes them about half a minute in game time, which is slightly slower than real life, unless we move it up fast, for them to receive the orders and carry them out. We have different types of orders. Defend is very much Overwatch. Oh, we also have orders. You put smoke on or off. This is for artillery, the types of rounds you want to shoot. These are some special orders. The pathway, how your units will reach their destination, and formation. Let's turn up the volume. So a blue line indicates line of sight. As you can see, we follow these. Looks like we have sighted unidentified troops, and they're under fire. In the newer versions, you have neutral units, green in NATO symbology. This would be civilians. They pop up randomly and can be listed as unidentified until they've been confirmed as either friend or foe, which I find pretty interesting, more realistic as well. I would get a kick out of this, out of the AAs. But let's speed this up now, shall we? Here's some of the Finns' tanks. Now I should note that down here in the corner we have cover, concealment, traction, and a different thing. I can't remember what this is, but these all affect the unit in the terrain and the units firing upon it. We have a BMP. This is an early version, the one that revolutionized armored warfare, mechanized warfare, that is, being the first of its kind. It's what prompted the Bradley to start development, at least the whole family that led up to the Bradley. That was this, ZSU. This is a Russian AA unit. Now while my Abrams are dominating this battlefield, if I was fighting a more advanced force, or in a terrain that is not so suited for this canalization of the enemy forces between these two hills, the Abrams wouldn't be so dominant. If I fought the Russians, they can set up whole companies of tanks against me. This would be a whole different story. BPRs. If I can zoom in. This is an early APC. In the Russian military today they have a BTR 80, and they may have a 90. I'd have to look it up. Looks like we lost one of our AA guns. The PT-76s. Let's take a look at those as well. So amphibious reconnaissance tanks. And we've won. As you see, we have total victory. You can have a minor, major, or a total victory. Minor, major loss. I haven't had a total loss as far as I can remember. And you can have a draw as well. So we can view the replay, watch the battle, how it was carried out. Or we can look in the order of battle to see what things are alive and what things are not. So that's Armored Brigade. Wonderful program. I highly recommend you look it up if you're interested in military science and want to improve your studies. And if And when they bring out the commercial version, I highly recommend that you purchase it, as I probably will as well. And that's all. I'll see ya.